Well, this here is the Toyota Urban Cruiser. A lot of you have been wanting to ask about this car, and all I have to tell you is that essentially it is the Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. So if you haven't seen my Brezza video, just go ahead and check it out, and don't come back because essentially it's the same car. That's the end of the review. It's bye for now, and thanks for watching. No, I'm just joking around with you. Of course, I'll give you a full review of the car. Essentially, it might sound like a revision course or some kind of a revision that we do before the exams, because it might seem as if I'm talking about the Brezza only. The only difference, of course, is this huge grille, slightly modified bumpers up ahead. But I think that this grille gives this car a lot of personality, definitely makes this car stand out, and definitely this car feels a lot more purposeful in terms of the way it looks with this new grille compared to the Vitara Brezza. Anyways, that's enough of the outside. It's really the same car. The side profile is flat, the back angle is quite decent, but again you get a whole boxy look on the outside. But all those boxy looks mean that the interiors are very spacious and very roomy. So let's jump inside the cabin now and talk about this car from the inside now. As you might be aware by now, is the online expert in terms of spare parts. If you want a spare part for your vehicle, they have it in their list. They have the most extensive spare parts catalog, right from the most affordable small car to the top of the line luxury car, you name the car, and they have the spare parts for it. And the best point is that they have the spare parts from a host of different component makers and different price segments for the same spare part. So if you want to buy a cheaper part from a different maker or a more expensive part from a different component maker, they have the option for you. And they also promise you 10 days assured return without any hassles. If you don't like the spare part, you can send it back and they'll return all the money to you in the first 10 days. So budmo.com is the name of the website. You can check them out on your iOS as well as Android devices as well. So I'm inside the cabin now of the Urban Cruiser, and it is a very good car in terms of the quality levels. The quality levels are very good. In fact, it's got as good quality as the Brezza because it's essentially the same car. Now in terms of features also, you get the same features, but I have some issues in terms of the features which could have been improved. For instance, you could have got a bigger touchscreen, you could have got wireless connection for your mobile phone for the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and also some features could have been added like maybe a sunroof, which Toyota could have given this car over the Brezza to just give it that bit of an edge over that car. But other than that, it is quite good. The quality is good, the seat comfort is very good. The big difference of course from the Brezza is that you get very dark brown color over here. The Brezza gets a very dark shade of blue and black combination. This one is brown shade, which looks different, but other than that, practicality wise, features wise, in terms of the quality wise, everything is similar to the Brezza, which means that it is a little boring, but it's a tried and tested and hassle-free cabin to sit in, which people do appreciate. Let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. Well, so I'm in the back seat now of the Brezza, in fact the Urban Cruiser. Forgive me for the confusion, but these two cars, well, they're the same car essentially. Now in terms of the difference with the Brezza, the fabric color is different. You get a brown color for the fabric, which makes it look a little different from the Brezza. Is it better? Is it worse? I really don't know. I prefer the color of the Brezza, but some people prefer the brown. On this car, it's identical in terms of space. You get generous knee room, good amounts of headroom. If you're about 5'6", 5'7", if you're about even 6 feet, you'll be more than sufficient for headroom over here. Knee room also should not be an issue. Windows are nice and large. You get door bins, and there's a quarter glass window at the back, so this car never feels claustrophobic. The only negative is that you don't get AC vents at the back, which is something that Toyota should have offered on this car to make it look a little different than the Brezza. But I guess they really are just changing a sticker on this car, nothing else. Anyways, let's jump in the front seat now, drive this car around and tell you how it is to drive. Well, so here I am driving the Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza / Toyota Urban Cruiser, and essentially the same car. Now when you compare these two cars or this car with the Nissan Magnite, then one thing which really stands out immediately is that the engine, the 1.5K series petrol engine, is a lot more refined, it's a lot more quieter, and it's a lot more responsive initially than the Magnite. Now you don't have to pull the turbo on this one, and you don't have to wait for the turbo to kick in for it to get going. So in that sense, it's a nicer car to drive in the city. On the highway, of course, the performance of that car is quite good because once the turbo kicks in, there's a lot of power available. But in the city, where there's a lot of stop-go traffic, then this one feels a little better. What you'll also like about it is the steering wheel feedback. It feels a little more crisp, it feels a little more dynamic, it feels a little more responsive than the one on the Magnite. And the ride comfort definitely has the advantage. The Brezza and the Urban Cruiser definitely has the advantage over the Magnite in the ride department. The ride comfort really is exceptional, and it's one of the best cars in this segment for sheer comfort, both in the city and at faster speeds. So in that department also there aren't any issues. What you will like also about this car is the visibility. It's excellent all across, and the high set seats also give you a good view of the road ahead. The gearbox, the manual, also is easier to use and nicer and crisper compared to the one on the Nissan Magnite. So in all those departments, this car clearly has the advantage. The only area where I think this car could have been better is the fact that the automatic gearbox is only a 4-speed AT. Yes, it is a torque converter, but it's only a 4-speed one. It should have been a 5-speed unit to give it a clear advantage in the automatic department, because the CVT gearbox on the Magnite really is a wonderful gearbox, and the automatic definitely, I think the advantage overall for highway city use combined lies with the Magnite. So it really is close in the automatics, but I think the advantage in the automatic department lies with that car. But for overall responsiveness, for refinement, for fuel efficiency as well, this car does trump the Nissan Magnite, and I think this one is a little ahead of that car. And if I had to give it a score, if these two cars had to be scored in the driving department alone, then the Nissan Magnite will get a respectable score of 89 out of 100, and this one will get a very good 90 out of 100 in the driving department. It really is a strong package, and a package which is very, very difficult to match and beat. And I think that Maruti Suzuki engineers done a very good job with this car, and I reckon that they deserve all the kudos that they're receiving from the market, and they also deserve all the double thumbs up that reviews are giving their cars.